It's Wolverine Friday here in Peters Township. Woodland Hills takes on Peters Township. We are right here ready for the kickoff. Eric Shirley with Rick McIntyre. Returned by Peters Township along the left side up to the 30. Lost his footing. He's a Peters Township Indian. That's Adrian Williams on the return. Coming into the game tonight, Peters Township, the host, 1-1 overall. 0-1 in conference last week, a loss to Upper St. Clair. The first week of the year, a win over West Toronto Prep. And the Woodland Hills Wolverines, 0-2 overall on the year, with a loss week 1 to Woodrow Wilson. And in week 2, a loss to Bethel Park, 41-20. Peters Township opens up in the shotgun. Give up the middle, and a great run right off the bat, Rick, for Peters Township, a first down run.
Yeah, looked like a nice trap play set up there to me. Had some nice penetration up the middle for the Wolverines, but they kind of anticipated that, trapped that guy, and hit that nice little hole off the right tackle.
There's Ryan Majewski on the run for Peters Township. Oh, flag on the play. Looks like a false start by the left guard, I believe. That'll back up the Indians 5 yards.
Yeah, it's early in the game. You get a little jumpy sometimes. They want to jump off the line and get them heads cracking. Every once in a while it costs you 5 yards.
Back to the 38-yard line, 1st and 15.
Looks like a timeout by Peters Township here. Couldn't get things straight right off the bat. So we'll step away for a moment. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Triple Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here in Peters Township, a 1st and 15 for the Indians. Give over the right side, a couple yards there for Peters Township. It'll be 2nd down and about 12 for the Indians. Wolverines still dealing with some injuries, so that will be difficult tonight. Having guys going both ways and dealing with the heat is already enough, let alone the injuries.
If it's hot, half as hot on the field as it is in this booth right now, it's pretty warm.
Can agree with that, Rick. Nice hit by the Wolverines there on another run attempt up the middle by Peters Township. Michael Roman on the tackle for the Wolverines, and that'll create a 3rd and 10 now for Peters Township.
Yeah, Michael Roman came up there and stuck his nose in there real nice. Watching him last year and this year, he's a hard-nosed kid, really likes to make contact, really strong defensive player for the Wolverines.
3rd and long for the Indians. In the shotgun, back to pass. Over to the right side, overthrown, off the hands, and incomplete. So that will force the Indians to punt. Logan Pfeiffer on the pass there for the Indians. And Wolverine is down. Yeah, he's up. All right, it looked like William Clark there went down for a second. But
it looked like he was maybe just adjusting the shoe a little bit. You know, there's times where the interception isn't the best thing to have happen, and that may have been one of those cases where an interception there may have ended up being just as good as a punt.
Good point there, Rick. Punt formation for the Indians. Gets the punt off, and it's a very nice punt. Jay Smith is going to field it for the Wolverines. He gets it around the 15, up to the 20, eluding a man, but he's going to go down right around the 20 there.
Well, roughing the kicker there, looks like on number 17, Josh Rawlings.
Rick.
The 231-pound junior. He really was very close to the block, and at the last second just couldn't quite keep his footing to stay away from the leg of the kicker. You know, bumped him, knocked him down right in front of the ref. Pretty easy call.
Thank you for having my back there, Rick. Limited viewing right now from our window, so I was looking to the left. Rick keeping an eye back on the play for me there.
Yeah, those are the kind of mistakes we've seen the last couple of weeks from Woodland Hills, and they're kind of backbreakers. And when they happen this early on, you want that defense to go out there their first series and get a nice 3 and out. You know, keep them from getting the first down, get the ball back, get that momentum going. Why? I'm a little confused as to the.
Well, it must have. I guess it was.
I'm not sure what happened there, to be quite honest with you. I was.
Well, it looks like
looking away when the ref made the signal.
Right, and we can't hear him. So the Wolverines are backed up 5 yards from the end of the return. So it'll be Woodland Hills starting first down and 10 here, but it looks like a false start on the Wolverines.
Looked like the entire right side of the Wolverines offense kind of jumped off sides there a little quick. Again,
that's right.
Early in the game, a little jumpy. Got to calm the nerves a little bit, get focused. Make sure you listen for that snap.
That'll back the Wolverines up to the 11-yard line. Their own 11 is where they will start. On a 1st and 15, Gavin Judson, quarterback for the Wolverines, in the shotgun. Anthony Meredith to his left. Sends Jay Smith in motion. Bobbles the snap and gets sacked. Does Gavin Judson. Looked like in on the snap for the Indians was Logan Clark. And not a good start for the Wolverines, Rick.
Yeah, it looked like maybe he was trying to hand that off for like a little jet sweep there to Jaden. Just a misstep on somebody's part there, and big mistake there, and it sets us up for 2 and forever, or 2nd and forever. See what the Wolverines come back with.
That's right, Rick. We're looking at, looks like a 2nd and 21, looks like here. Under center, Judson. Give to Meredith, nowhere to go up the middle. And he's going to be backed up all the way to about the 1 there. So it'll create a 3rd and extremely long for the Wolverines.
Yeah, number 10 there. I'm having trouble pulling up his number, but number 10 on the right end there for Peters Township, I think read that play, saw that stretch play coming to the left side. Corbin Hondrew there, the tight end linebacker, came up and just blew that thing up in the backfield. Really nice defensive play.
Third down for the Wolverines. Under center, Gavin Judson. Give to Meredith. Gets out of the end zone, but that's going to be all as he gets back to about the 1. And it will be 4th down, punting from their own end zone with the Wolverines.
Not just punting from their own end zone, but snapping from nearly their own end zone, which gives you a very short snap as opposed to the normal distance you have from the kicker to the punter. These are always a little bit scary, and with the last couple of weeks, this is hopefully something they've been working on a lot during the week. So let's see if we can get a little bit of field position back.
Sloppy start for both teams here in Peters Township. The Wolverines are in punt formation. Chucky Hanchett ready to get the snap. Gets the snap, gets the kick off, end over end. Peters Township, John Casilli on the return, right side, into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, nice job there getting the snap off, which is obviously your first concern, mission number 1 in these kind of situations. Got a good snap off, got a good bit of time for the kick, but again, it's short yardage, so you're going to get pressure sooner. Looked like that ball maybe just came off the end of his foot a little bit. Not a bad kick, but unfortunately it was a low kick, and it came right to the return man. Didn't give that defense a lot of time to get down there in coverage. Peters Township did a good job setting up the wall to the right, and he went pretty much untouched until he hit about the 1 yard line.
6-0 Peters Township early here. Extra point attempt for the Indians. Up and good. So with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter, it is Peters Township 7, Woodland Hills nothing. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here in Peters Township, a punt return by John Casilli for the Indians gives them a 7-0 lead. Woodland Hills struggling on offense, only going backwards, and that created a tough situation punting out of the end zone. And it was a low kick, and Casilli took it almost on the run and was able to take it right to the end zone, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they just set that wall up beautifully. The kick came to him so fast, didn't give our coverage any time to get down there. So Peters Township now with 18 total yards of offense is now up 7-0.
On the return for the Wolverines is Anthony Meredith, bringing it straight up the middle out to about the 27 or 28, will depend on the spot.
All right, a little more breathing room for the Woodland Hills offense this time. See if we can get them big dogs out there and take a breath, calm down a little bit, realizing there's a lot of time left in this game. Put together a nice drive, get a couple first downs, get down there towards the end zone. Everything starts turning around from there.
Ball spotted at the 28. Wolverines break the huddle. 2 receivers, 1 left, 1 right. Gavin Judson under center. Sends a man in motion. Give up the middle, nowhere to go. Stuffed in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 1 for the Wolverines.
Yeah, Shane O'Connell there from the defensive line position. I couldn't tell if they were on a stunt or if he just got across the ball that fast. But he came right in, and when you got that right tackle for the defense cutting in that fast and you're trying to get to the left to that 5-hole or 7-hole, it makes it very difficult.
2nd and 11 for the Wolverines. Judson under center. Quick drop over to Lucas and too high. And it's pretty much deja vu, Rick. That exact same play was tried early by the Wolverines last week against Bethel Park, and it was the same result. An overthrow by Judson to Lucas.
Those short outs, in the NFL they talk about the 20-yard out is the most difficult ball to throw. When you're looking at high school, they don't call that too often. When you're trying to hit that short out, it's a precision play, it's a timing play. It's a very difficult throw to make for a young quarterback.
3rd and 11 for the Wolverines. Judson still under center. Hard count. Give to Meredith, and the Indians were in on him before he even got the handoff from Judson, Rick.
Yeah, again, that's that right tackle. I believe that was number 56, Shane O'Connell again, just blowing up through the middle, coming through seemingly untouched. It looked like they were pulling that backside guard to get to him. Couldn't get there in time, and it's a decent loss for the Wolverines. They're going to have to punt again.
Another 4th down situation for the Wolverines. Chucky Hanchett back to punt on a 4th and long. Snap to Hanchett. He gets a nice kickoff this time, much higher. And they tried to do a little give on a reverse play on the return, and it did not go as planned for the Indians, but they're able to recover it, and they will start 1st and 10 there, Rick.
Yeah, much better result there for the special teams for the Wolverines. Really nice kick there. He had a little more time because he had that full yardage between him and the snapper. Gets a good kickoff there. Nice work there by Coach Scotty Henderson, getting that kicker going. Shaking off that last one a little bit, getting the job done here, and puts Peters Township in the longer field here to get some more points.
1st and 10 for Peters Township. They will start at their own 39-yard line. Peters Township in a shotgun. The give, a couple broken tackles there for Peters Township. Up to about the 45 goes Adrian Williams.
Nice effort there by Adrian Williams there for Peters Township. Looked like Mike Roman came in there, made a hit early. He was a little bit high maybe, and Adrian did a good job shaking that off, spun off another tackle. Nice little 6-yard pickup.
2nd and 4 for the Indians. Piper in the shotgun again. Gets the snap. Fakes on the give, and he is hit in the backfield for a sack for the Wolverines. Hard to tell who was in on that. It was a few Wolverines there, but a big sack and some penetration for the Wolverines.
I'm reading it. If I can see the number right, I'm getting a little old and tough to see. It looked like number 58 there, the sophomore at 6 foot, 227 pounds, Samuel Foreman. Got in there, looked like for the first hit. I'm sorry, we had a couple number changes here. We didn't quite get him in the system. That's Caleb Brevard in there with the sack.
It's hard to keep track.
Not
It
the sack,
seems
but
like
a nice
every
play.
game there are a couple different number changes.
Yeah, they seem to swap jerseys pretty freely, making our job a little more difficult.
Nonetheless, it is a 3rd down and about 8 for the Indians, and a give up the middle to Williams, and he's going to carry the pile, and he's going to get enough for a 1st down over midfield. Big run for the Indians there as the Wolverines get a nice sack, but they are unable to contain the Indians, and a 1st down, and they are now in Wolverines territory.
Yeah, yet again here, the Peters Township offensive line does a good job tying up the defensive line for Woodland Hills, getting to that 2nd level, and then Adrian just makes magic happen when he gets contact.
1st and 10 for the Indians. On the inside handoff goes Adrian Williams, but nothing doing, as he will actually get a loss of 1 there.
Like Will Clark there on the tackle, got in the backfield, wrapped him up in the legs nicely.
And that Will Clark also comes up limping after that play, and that's not good for the Wolverines. It's going to stay out there, though. Second and 11 for the Indians. Give up the middle. Williams, again, nowhere to go.
Nice play there by Ace there, Meredith, coming down. Was that Meredith? I can't tell if that's 5 or 6. We're about a mile from the field here, folks.
It is definitely hard to tell.
It looked like he came from that backside position, saw that backside guard and tackle pulling, and like he's coached to do, he crashes the line, was able to get a couple steps and make a nice tackle.
3rd and long for the Indians. Back to pass goes Pfeiffer, and had his man, but unable to hold on to it for the Indians was Gabe Maloney. It was a little bit behind him, but I think he would tell you he probably should have had that. Nonetheless, the Indians on a 4th and long will be forced to punt at midfield.
All right, good stand here by Woodland Hills defense. Kind of stop the bleeding a little bit, slow the tempo of the game down, maybe get this Wolverines offense a chance to get things started.
Indians in punt formation on a 4th and 12. Good snap. Nice kick. Jay Smith is going to field it at about the 15. He gets a block. He's up the middle to the 20, to the 25. At around the 29, he goes down, and that's where the Wolverines will start this drive.
It's a nice solid return there. And, again, mission 1 is receive that ball, maintain possession, does a good job there. It gets a nice block there set up, I believe, by number 45, Tamar Dean. Read the block nicely, made a cut, got up there, got some contact, got another couple yards after the initial contact.
1st and 10 for the Wolverines. And we have a quarterback change. It looks like Rodney Stubbs is in there for the Wolverines in the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Give to Meredith. It's over to the right to about the 32-yard line. Gain of about 3 for Meredith. Now they're going to put it up to about the 33, so it'll be gain of 4 for Anthony Meredith.
Nice job there by Ace, getting to the corner. Really didn't have the play set up very well for him there. Used his feet, his speed to kind of beat the defense to the corner. And that's the toughest 4 yards I've ever seen, I think, a running back get here, running that stretch play.
We know Meredith does not mind taking some contact.
It's almost like he seeks it out sometimes.
You were right about that, Rick. 2nd and 6 for the Wolverines. Rodney Stubbs in the shotgun. And there's movement along the right side. Looked like the right tackle there.
Yeah, it looked like the right tackle to me there. Again, just a little excited there. We got a good playoff, getting some running yards going, trying to get that extra step.
2nd and 11 now for the Wolverines after the false start penalty. Bunch to the left here. Stubbs in the shotgun. Takes it, rolls out left, and finds Jay Smith wide open, and Jay Smith gets loses his footing right around the 30-yard line, but a beautiful find by Rodney Stubbs, and I'm not sure, Rick, how Jay Smith was able to get so wide open.
Yeah, I was watching the quarterback scrambling for his life here, and I don't have a replay monitor in front of me to tell you, but obviously they found some kind of a soft spot there in the coverage. Fortunately, the quarterback for Woodland Hills was aware enough to see him downfield and really threw that ball right on target with a lot of traffic in his face, knowing he was about to take a hit. Excellent player for Woodland Hills. Absolutely,
Rick. That is the first really big play that we've seen all season for the Wolverines that wasn't a touchdown. 1st and 10. Stubbs on the give to Meredith. Meredith bouncing off a few tacklers, but unable to get anything more. But forward progress will give him about a yard there up to the 30.
Yeah, there's some tough-looking kids here wearing the red jerseys. They come after you. They're coming at you head first, and they're moving their feet once they make contact. So we're going to have to get a little bit creative here with some play calling here to open up some holes and get to that second level before contact's made if we're going to get some yardage.
Peters Township again coming off that 2-point loss to Upper St. Clair last week. Second and 9 for the Wolverines. Stubbs gets the snap. The pass over to the right side, but unable to hold on to it was Jay Smith, and Indians were right on him there, so I'm not sure, as his momentum was carrying him out of bounds anyway, if that really would have been much.
Yeah, it looked like if he caught that, he was going to get back to the line of scrimmage at best. Not a bad ball there. Maybe a little quick on the throw. Up here in the booth, hopefully they're seeing that they kind of jumped the coverage on that short pass, and that snake route maybe was going to come open there down later on.
3rd and 9 for the Wolverines. It's about 4th down territory, I would say.
Oh, I'd have to agree. Down by 7.
Coach Tim's
minute left in the first quarter.
That'll be a timeout for Woodland Hills, so we'll step away briefly. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trip Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Serving the Turtle Creek Valley and neighboring Woodland Hills communities for over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home now offers crematory services at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home and that their crematory is used exclusively for the families they serve.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here in Peters Township, 1:12 left to go in the first quarter. Woodland Hills at the Indians' 30-yard line with a 3rd and 9. Rodney Stubbs in the shotgun with trips to his right. Takes the snap. And he is hit with several Indians there, and the sack for Peters Township will push the Wolverines back for a 4th and about 13 now, Rick.
Yeah, I think that's what they might call a coverage sack there, Eric. He had the ball for a solid 3 to 4 count. Got to get rid of it. Unfortunately, really nice coverage downfield for Peters Township. Really nowhere to go with this ball except throwing it away. Just held onto it for that extra beat. Not a great decision there by the Woodland Hills quarterback.
4th and 13 for the Wolverines now in Peters Township territory. Stubbs back over the middle. He got Jay Smith, and Smith is going to reach across, and it looks like he may have had enough for a first down. We will see what the spot says.
Looks like they got him spotted at the 20, which puts him about a yard past that first down marker, if I'm correct. Is there a flag over there?
Not sure, I can't
Looks like
see
that
a
sideline
flag.
judge on the far side might be standing over some laundry.
That's right. Way over on the sideline.
Nice job there. Nice drop back read. He really kind of threaded a needle there to get that into the drag coming across the middle, which is not an easy ball to catch.
After seeing the replay now, it definitely looked like he reached across and was able to get the first down, but based on the spot, I don't think they gave it to him. Looks like we're going to have a measurement here.
Really close. We're not in the best angle here, folks, to make the call. It's going to be very close. They're going to have to bring those chains out. This is the part of the game where every true Woodland Hills fan goes, they're going to cheat and not give it to us. Because the refs are always against us.
Here's the measurement.
He's got it.
And it's a
By
first
about half
down
a
for
ball.
the Wolverines. Definitely looked like Smith was able to reach across. It was hard to tell when his knee went down, but
yeah, it looked like the initial
spot
was on the solid line there for the 20, and then he kind of kicked it back a little bit. But excellent pickup there on, what was that, 4th and 13 for the Wolverines. Getting a little new life here. Down right at the edge of the red zone here. See what the Wolverines can do.
And it was great to see the Wolverines utilizing the middle of the field, Rick, something we have not seen yet this year. And he was open, and Smith made a great catch and a great run for the first down. 1st and 10 for the Wolverines at the 21. Meredith gets the handoff, and not much doing there. Looks like he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Yeah, Zach McNaughty there for Peters Township. You'll see here in the replay in a second on that left end, or the left D line for Peters Township. Just comes across, sheds a block, shows his face, makes Meredith stutter step. Doesn't make the tackle, but makes the tackle for a lost possible.
That'll be the end of the first quarter. Peters Township leading the Wolverines 7-0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Triv Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Help and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here in Peters Township at the start of the second quarter, the Indians lead the Wolverines 7-0, but the Wolverines currently driving. 2nd and 10 now. Stubbs under center. Give to Meredith up the middle. Not much doing. He'll get maybe a yard.
Yeah, maybe a yard there. Really tough fought yard for Meredith. Fullback wants to lead him outside. The backside tackle just didn't get there in enough time to open up that hole. Otherwise, that could have really broke off that right side there for about 6-7 yards.
3rd and 9 for the Wolverines. Attempting 2 run plays on 1st and 2nd down. Nothing doing there. See if they go back to the air here on 3rd down. Like to see Josh Rawlings utilized a little bit more. He's got such a height advantage. If you look over here to the left side, Rick, he's got about 6 inches on this defensive back.
Yeah, he's looking like Terrell Owens out here. You know, just let him go to the corner and throw it out.
Looks like a timeout here for the Wolverines. Coach Tim Boston wants to take a closer look at this play. With 11:14 remaining in the second quarter, it's the Peters Township Indians 7, the Woodland Hills Wolverines nothing. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Indians on the Triv Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for over 30 years. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, an alignment, state inspection and emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here in Peters Township, Woodland Hills faced with a 3rd and 9 in Peters Township territory. Stubbs throws one up to the right side, and it looks like it was picked off by the... Nope, incomplete. He was unable to hold on to it. He had great coverage on the right side there.
Look, from the ref signal, looks like he actually did. And this is the play we're actually calling for here. Throwing it to the big guy, letting him go up and get some lunch. He didn't quite get it to the corner. He does, I think, come down with this, but he's out of bounds when he does.
Yes, after the replay, we see that. He was looking for Davion Rochelle there on the right side, who is number 13. He's wearing 13 tonight. His number on the roster is 29, but wearing 13 tonight.
kind of turned into a defensive back there to make sure he doesn't get that completion in the end zone, keeping the ball alive for Woodland Hills.
4th and 9 for the Wolverines, and they will go for it. Stubbs unable to take the snap cleanly. Finds Lucas, but unable to hold on was Jaden Lucas, and falls incomplete, and the Peters Township Indians will take over on downs.
Tell you what, I don't know if you saw that snap. He did like a dribble. It's actually pretty impressive. That ball hits his hands, hits the turf, comes right back into his hands, and manages to get a pretty good ball off there. Number 5, Josh Casilli for Peters, does a really nice job there, batting it out of his hand and preventing the Wolverines' touchdown.
So Peters Township will take over at their own 20-yard line with a 1st and 10 here. Wolverine defense will be asked to make some plays again and stop this Indians offense. Pfeiffer in the shotgun for the Indians. Fakes on the give. Looking right down the seam to John Casilli. And he is able to hold on to that one. Big gainer for the Indians all the way down. Not sure whether they're going to spot that right at the 40-yard line of the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
Yeah, so Casilli, you just heard us talking about there on the defensive side, prevents a Wolverines touchdown here. Basically just on a simple go route here. Play action, 2-3-step drop, let it go. Not sure if the Wolverines back there maybe bit on that play action and that cost them that step.
Toss to Casilli there on the sideline. He's able to make something out of nothing there and get a 1st down. I'm surprised he stayed in bounds there, Rick.
Yeah, this is where if I was, we had the bigger budget and I was a John Madden type guy, we had the teleprompter, we'd be playing circle the tackle, the missed tackles on that play. I counted about 4 before he finally got pushed out of bounds. Wolverines got to do a better job when they step up, making contact, wrapping them up, getting them down.
Absolutely, Rick. 1st and 10 for the Indians now. Pfeiffer over the middle. Good coverage by the Wolverines. It looked like Jay Smith there on the coverage. And that falls incomplete for Peters Township. Was Jay Smith there. Pass was intended for Gabe Maloney for the Indians.
Yeah, nice coverage there. Not much going. Nice pressure there up the middle from Josh Rawlings. Kind of made that quarterback make that decision maybe a little bit faster than he wanted to.
2nd and 10 for the Indians. Give there. Over the left side, that's going to be another 1st down run by Seth Luxick.
Boy, he laid a little wood there at the end of that run. Somebody took a nice shot trying to make a tackle there. I didn't see the number because it was instantly buried in the turf.
Big 1st down for Peters Township as they are on the move. Inside the red zone now. Pfeiffer sends a man in motion. Another run, middle, a nice chunky yardage there for Peters Township. Gets about 5 yards there on 1st down, maybe 4, depends on the spot.
Yeah, we're getting late into this 1st half. It's hot out here. If you look at their sideline versus ours, a number of kids over there, and the fact that they can kind of shuttle kids in and platoon, this is where this defense and their conditioning is going to really show. They got to really step up here and stop this momentum.
2nd and 6 for the Indians here, knocking on the door. Give up the middle, but hit instantly by the Wolverines. Not sure if that was Caleb Brevard.
Looked like, was that number 12?
Very hard to tell.
Maybe Jeffrey Williams. I think they call him Doodles. Nice play. A really nice, solid hit there right at the line of scrimmage. Wraps him up, makes a nice play.
Yes, it was Jeffrey Williams. Thank you. Looking at the replay. Piper. There's a flag on the play, and it looks like it's going to be on the Wolverines.
Another mental error there. It's going to give them 3rd and much shorter, if that is in fact on the turquoise helmets.
Like a little bit of encroachment there.
Yeah, the right end there, just a little anxious. Another mental error. I think you said last week, if you seemed like if you take 2 steps forward and 15 steps back.
3rd and short for the Indians. Give up the middle and into the end zone. For the Indians goes Ryan Majewski for another touchdown. It is 13-0 Peters Township.
Yeah, the big dogs up front for Peters Township just kind of dominated that line of scrimmage. Let's see what they actually did. There was that a trap play using that. Yep. They set up a trap, used that in-motion flanker to get to the backer. The backside guard came over, picks up that firing defensive tackle, opens up a wide hole that generally creates that little cutback lane you saw there that led right to the end zone.
Snap for the extra point. Kick is up and no good. That goes wide left.
A little pressure on that kick. I don't know if that had an effect.
So with 8:43 remaining until halftime, Peters Township leads the Wolverines 13-0. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here in Peters Township, 13-0. Indians have the lead with 8:43 remaining until halftime. And Woodland Hills defense had a tough time there, unable to stop Peters Township as they went right through them and got on the board again. Kick is off. Wolverines back to receive, bringing it over the left side. Looks like William Clark almost stays on his feet as he got hit low there. Decent return. Okay field position now for the Wolverines.
Like about a 15, maybe 16-yard return there for Will Clark. Nice run there. Shows a little bit of speed, getting to that left side. Gets up into some open field. Makes one tackler miss. Makes a nice decision here. Cuts right, sees a blocking, rolling off, picks up a couple more yards. Nice return.
Clark had a fantastic return last week late in the game against Bethel Park. 1st and 10 for the Wolverines. Start at their own 23-yard line. Stubbs takes the shotgun snap and automatically goes with it over the right side, but it's going to be a flag on the play.
Yeah, I think we all know when that flag lands there what that call is going to be.
That's right, Rick.
I think we're going to see the referee grasp his forearm here in a moment. There it is.
Absolutely holding on Woodland Hills. That'll back them up even more. So put the Wolverines.
Couldn't quite see the offense there on the replay.
Hard to tell. Woodland Hills will start now at their own 13. Stubbs hits the snap, rolls out, looking deep, has Davion Rochelle. A beautiful catch as Rochelle was able to readjust to that ball, turn around and keep his eyes on it and make the catch.
Can't see the number here again, but looked like the left guard or the left tackle here made an excellent job. Did an excellent job here with the pass blocking. They had the fan set up for that 5-step drop. He stayed toe for toe with that guy for what felt like an eternity probably for him. Let the quarterback breathe a little easier, get that ball off.
1st and 10 now for the Wolverines at their own 44. Having some success in the air. We'll see if they stick with it. Give to Jaden Lucas on the jet sweep. They're going to string him out all the way to the sideline and not even going to be able to get back to the line of scrimmage there, Rick.
So this is where the former coach in me jumps out, and that jet sweep didn't get you much. But boy, that fake really looked like it was going to open up. If they let Stubbs keep the ball there, nobody was respecting the quarterback on the fake and sweeping out to the left.
You're correct on that, Rick. It looked like Jeremy Thomas, the left tackle, opened that wide up, and all of the Peters Township Indians defense bit on that. But the give went to Lucas, and now it's Woodland Hills in a 2nd and long situation. Looks like this is going to be a false start on Woodland Hills. Like that motion was made. It will be, and a lot of pre-snap penalties, and which is something we didn't see much of last week for the Wolverines. They were pretty disciplined in that respect against Bethel Park, but now it is resurfacing this week as it did in the week 0 game, against Woodrow Wilson.
Something you see here from Peters, and it's something they've always done, is they line those 4 down linemen up. I've got an incredible case of hiccups going right now. I apologize. But where they line up is not where they're going to be when the ball snapped. And they do that little jump. And every so often, that's going to pull one of the Wolverine offensive line off sides.
Looks like a timeout here for the Wolverines. Coach Tim wants to talk things over. With 6:34 left until halftime, Peters Township leads the Wolverines 13-0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here in Peters Township, Stubbs takes the snap. The toss to Clark, but going backwards now, the Wolverines. And yet again, they try to go horizontally, but nothing doing there for the Wolverines. And they've had a lot of success over the middle of the field so far, and they're just not going back to it. And they have some height advantages with Davion Rochelle and Josh Rawlings at the receiver position, but not taking advantage of it enough. And this backs up the Wolverines for a 3rd and very long here. All the way back at their own 27. Stubbs in the shotgun, and another false start for the Wolverines. That'll back them up 5 more. Turn this into a 3rd and about 32 now for the Wolverines. First down marker all the way down at the 46-yard line of Peters Township. Stubbs in the shotgun. He's got 4 receivers, 2 right, 2 left. Takes the snap and play conservative are the Wolverines, and they're going to give it to Clark. He's going to break a tackle or 2 and get up to about the 32, but that's all, and the Wolverines will be forced to punt now with a 4th and very long. Peters Township was doing a great job there of just staying sound and containing the Wolverines.
Kind of a bend, don't break philosophy there with that long yardage.
After that big pass play for the Wolverines from Stubbs to Rochelle, they only go backwards. So it'll be 4th down and long for the Wolverines, and punt formation is Chucky Hanchett awaiting the snap. He gets the snap, gets the kickoff, just barely, and that one's going to bounce right out of bounds after 1 bounce inbounds. See where the referee spots it. He's going to put it at 32. That's where Peters Township will start their drive. So we're going to step away for a moment. It's Peters Township 13, Woodland Hills nothing, with 4:47 left until halftime. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Woodland Hills football is brought to you in part by the law offices of Owen Seaman. Owen is a Woodland Hills alumnus who studied law at Duquesne University and has been practicing law in the Pittsburgh area for over 15 years. Attorney Owen Seaman's experience encompasses virtually every facet of criminal defense. If you find yourself in need of criminal defense representation, call Owen at 412-721-0412 or visit owenthelawyer.com.
Side for Peters Township, but there's a flag on the play.
54, if I'm not mistaken. That's Keyshawn Frazier there. Nice tackle there. Looked like, I didn't see the actual call there. What did he call? It was a late. I'm sorry, I distracted you.
Oh no, no.
It was a late flag in the backfield. I don't know if maybe that was unnecessary roughness or a holding call.
Definitely going to back them up. So the flag is going to back Peters Township up. We'll see how far back he goes.
That looked like maybe like a tripping call or something.
Looks like he goes back 10 yards.
We'll call it an illegal block.
There we go. Fine with me, Rick. So this will push Peters Township back for a first and about 20 now. Logan Pfeiffer in the shotgun. He's got 4 receivers, 2 right and 2 left. The give to Williams, and he is hit in the backfield, but breaks that first tackle, but then hit by a wave of Wolverines, and that'll push the Indians back a few more yards there, Rick.
As that looked like big Caleb Brevard coming in here to clean things up. Initial contact. Can't get a number there, but looked like Mike Roman getting in there. He's always on the ball. His nose is always there.
Especially playing without top linebacker Sidney Summers, Michael Roman really has to step up, and he has. Pfeiffer, double back set to his right and left. He has time, but he's flushed out of the pocket, and then he's hit and dropped in the backfield for the Wolverines. Number 39 in the backfield made the stop for Woodland Hills. I believe that was Taylon Brooks.
Yeah, Taylon Brooks does a nice job here. You can see he kind of gets isolated out there in the flats. Quarterback's got nothing. He's looking left. He's got a man coming out. You'll see him right there jump his route when he knows the quarterback's running. Textbook defense there. Nice stop.
Taylon Brooks, one of several talented sophomores for the Wolverines that are seeing a lot of playing time early in the season. 3rd and very long for Peters Township. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Fakes the give to Williams, looking over the left side, got a man and caught for Peters Township. Looks like there's a flag.
There was a flag
way
right
back
at the snap of the ball. I'm not sure if that was a free play for the Peters Township offense, or if the ref saw something he didn't like in the lineup as far as the line of scrimmage. But he didn't throw the play dead, so that leads me to believe that's going to be on Woodland Hills and it's going to be waived.
That's what I would think too, Rick, but Peters Township is backing up right now.
They certainly are.
The catch was by Jackson McCloskey, and it was a great catch, but it's going to be negated here. We'll see what the call is. Legal formation.
Legal formation. They didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage.
There we go. So that is a huge break for the Wolverines.
That sure is. That's a 60-yard break.
Taking a look at the replay here, it looked like Wolverines had decent coverage. The ball was underthrown, and McCloskey was able to readjust to it and make a nice play.
Yeah, I mean, that was a kind of in-traffic catch. Really nice ball there. Kind of dropped it in right where he had to. Fortunately, didn't count.
So 3rd and long. We'll do it again. Brevard in and gets a big sack on Logan Pfeiffer right at the 1-yard line. A big play for Woodland Hills. Exactly what they needed.
Well, I don't know if maybe somebody thought they were running a screen, and they just let him go untouched. Came up and just cleaned the clock.
Again, Caleb Brevard, they're wearing 58 tonight. Normally wears number 7, but wearing 58 tonight. Now Peters Township with a 4th and just the first down marker's at the 42-yard line. They're at the 1-yard line, so do the math. 41 yards.
Kicker's heels on the back of the end zone. Peter called.
Punt dropped and down.
Another late flag.
And another flag.
Weird spot for that flag. There was really nobody in the area when that flag got thrown. 2 flags down there.
Looks like it might be a block in the back, Rick, which would push the Wolverines back, and that would be a shame because having the ball right now.
Well, I mean, there's mental errors and then there are double mental errors. If you're blocking in the back, that's an error. If you're blocking in the back after you've called Peter, that's a double error. And that sounds like 5 sets of steps to me.
That's right, Rick, and it's going to really back up the Wolverines now, and not what you want to see. You get a nice break there with good field position, and now they back themselves up all the way back to the 46.
Fortunately for Woodland Hills, it happened before they gained full possession, so they will have a 1st and 10, just not with the field position that they would have had. With a minute 52, those couple yards really do come into play.
Wolverines will start 1st and 10 at the Peters Township 46.
There's nobody out here covering.
Got that right, Rick.
Josh Rawlings is essentially uncovered right now. He's got a linebacker about 8 yards away.
Everybody near him is 5-6 inches shorter than him. Nobody covering. Stubbs takes the shotgun snap, looking down the sideline. Ball's going to be overthrown and luckily not intercepted there by Peters Township. Aiden McCall on the coverage. Was looking for Davion Rochelle right down the right sideline, but unable to connect.
Yeah, they kind of dropped back into a soft zone there. So they did have Big 17 covered on the deep route. But if they read that nicely, he's got a 5-yard, quick stop, turn, catch the ball. He's going to get 8-10 yards on that, I think, all day if we see that set up again.
2nd and 10 for the Wolverines now at the Peters Township 46. 1:46 remaining until halftime. Stubbs sends Clark in motion. That same play, little swing pass almost, but he stopped his momentum and just hit in the backfield. That play was not successful the first time, and it's not successful again.
Yeah, Caleb Bavard, I think, was kind of a key block there. And I'm not sure if maybe he just fanned a little bit or if that kid from Peters Township just did a really nice job getting around him. You can't see here, it's off frame. But right there, he just got right around number 17, and that's the initial contact. And kind of, once you stop the flow of that kind of a play, the defense tends to converge, and it's all over.
3rd and long now for the Wolverines. It was an interesting play call there when you're down below 2 minutes and you're trying to go down the field, going horizontal like that.
I'm just trying to get the ball to a kid in open space.
Shotgun. Stubbs. Not much time. Flushed out. Tries to take it up the middle and hit right at about the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down and long for the Wolverines again.
All right. Not the best play, but at least he didn't rush. He didn't try to force the ball in anywhere because looking downfield, there really wasn't much brewing. Feeling a little pressure, does what he's supposed to do, step up in the pocket, get some yardage, protect the ball. Again, not the best result, but that's what you want to see out of a quarterback.
4th down and 16, timeout, Peters Township.
Looks like Peters Township is going to take a timeout here. So we will step away briefly with 50 seconds remaining until halftime. It's Peters Township 13, Woodland Hills nothing. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
Able to handle it, gets the kickoff, and Casilli has trouble with corralling the kick, but he's able to dive on top of it and save the ball for the Indians.
Yeah, really nice job there by the young kicker for Woodland Hills. Jockey gets a bit of a dribbler coming at him, gets his hands on it, gets a decent kick away. And I've never had, at my size and my ability, I never had the return kicks. But that thing looked like a slider coming down there with the spin on it, the way that thing was dropping out of the air. That's a tough ball to catch.
Peters Township now will start 1st and 10 with 43 seconds remaining until the half. See what they got here. Gibbs going to go to Adrian Williams. He's going to be grabbed by Michael Roman in the backfield. Taken down, nothing much doing there. Clock's still rolling. It looks like Peters Township is going to be happy letting this clock run down as much as it can. We'll see when the play clock starts and if they will even have to run another play. Nope. Looks like they're not going to have to unless they choose to.
Nice blitz here drawn up by the Wolverines defense. You see Mike Roman coming there on a stunt. Sneaks through. Boy, he beats 3 blocks. Is getting blocked and gets his right hand just on a jersey, and he's just tenacious. He gets that kid down with 2 fingers.
Looks like they're going to not run another play as we suspected. Or there's Peters Township was heading towards the locker room. Looks like the clock was stopped upstairs, and it shouldn't have been. They're going to run it again, and the clock's going to expire. And we will go to halftime with the score, Peters Township 13 and Woodland Hills nothing. We will be back with a halftime show. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment.
A-Boss Opticians on Braddock Avenue in Braddock is your one-stop optical shop. With hundreds of the latest frame styles and lenses, the skilled opticians at A-Boss will help select and fit the best eyewear option for you. Plus, A-Boss Opticians is the best eyewear repair facility in the area. No matter what your eyewear needs are, make A-Boss Opticians your opticians. Call A-Boss Opticians at 412-271-4424 or visit abossopticians.com.
Dawn and John at Matthews Auto Service have been serving the Turtle Creek Valley for over 40 years. In addition to being a full-service gas station, Matthews offers oil changes, state inspection and emissions testing, new tires, and light mechanical work. Matthews Auto Service, Monroeville Avenue in Turtle Creek, or call them at 412-824-0940.
Thanks for tuning in to the halftime show on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Woodland Hills Football is presented by State Senator Jay Costa. Wolverine Football is also brought to you by the Triangle Barn Grille, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, the law offices of Owen Seaman, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers Inn in Swissvale, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, A-Boss Opticians, Matthews Auto Service, and the Zubin Dental Associates. Now it's time for the second half.
Woodland Hills Wolverines trail the Peters Township Indians 13-0 in a sloppy half played by both teams, I would say, but better play by Peters Township overall has led them to a 13-0 lead, Rick.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly the most textbook, prettiest 24 minutes of football I've seen. Both teams really coming out. There's a lot of hard hitting out there. There's a lot of gut, a lot of tenacity going on. Overall, it is actually a pretty entertaining game to watch. Again, as we've said the last couple weeks, sometimes it comes down to who's going to make the most mistakes. Right now, the Wolverines' offense seems to be, the offensive line is getting stymied by that defense jumping right before we snap the ball. Maybe I'd like to see the Woodland Hills offense, I'm not sure if it's something they've worked on, but go into a silent snap where you go and you snap on contact. And a lot of times when the defense is doing what they're doing, when you come up and do that, you actually are going to snap the ball and catch them as they're jumping. You're eliminating the offsides call on us and maybe catching them a little bit off guard and getting that extra advantage getting off the ball.
That's right, Rick. We'll see what the Wolverines can do in the second half. Touchdowns by John Casilli and Seth Luxick in the first half has put the Wolverines down 13-0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network. You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here in Peters Township, thank you for joining us for the halftime show. The Woodland Hills Wolverines trail Peters Township by a score of 13-0. Punt return touchdown early in the game by John Casilli put Peters Township up 7-0, and then in the second half, a touchdown run by Seth Luxick after a long drive for Peters Township and a missed extra point put up Peters Township 13-0. Woodland Hills went to quarterback Rodney Stubbs and had some success after that with a couple long passes, but were unable to get into the end zone after a couple drives and have no points up on the board. We're going to take a break. Thank you again for joining us for the halftime show. It's 13-0 Peters Township. Kickoff is minutes away. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Woodland Hills football is brought to you in part by the law offices of Owen Seaman. Owen is a Woodland Hills alumnus who studied law at Duquesne University and has been practicing law in the Pittsburgh area for over 15 years. Attorney Owen Seaman's experience encompasses virtually every facet of criminal defense. If you find yourself in need of criminal defense representation, call Owen at 412-721-0412 or visit owenthelawyer.com. There are a few things that guys like more than a great haircut at a real barbershop. And at the Barber's Inn on Washington Avenue in Swissvale, you'll find both. Plus, you can relax in style on supple leather sofas while watching their big screen HD TV. You can even shoot some pool while you wait. But most importantly, you'll walk out the door with a haircut or shave that you're sure to love. Walk-ins are always welcome at the Barber's Inn. For more information, call 412-271-7434. And remember, real men come to the Barber's Inn.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment. Whether you need a new website or want to improve your existing site, Web Landings can serve your needs. Web Landings provides professional, easy-to-maintain websites for businesses, organizations, and individuals. Discover more at weblandings.com and find out how editing your site can be as easy as using a word processor. Plus, we offer 1 year of free hosting for any website developed. Visit weblandings.com today.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, with locations in East Pittsburgh and Turtle Creek, is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. This reflects the same pursuit of excellence by our Woodland Hills football team, cheerleaders, marching band, students, staff, and faculty. For over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
On the 50-50, you can claim your prize at the visitors' concession stand.
Back here at Peters Township for the halftime show. Eric Shuley and Rick McIntyre on the call for you. Peters Township leading the Wolverines 13-0 right now. And Rick, it's been sloppy for the Wolverines.
Yeah, sloppy's a good way of putting it there. I lost count of how many penalties and for how many yards, but it seems to be kind of the biggest issue of the game so far, as we talked about earlier, at the end of the first half. Let's see if Coach Tim Bossert can get things together, get that team settled down, and cut them penalties out. And I want to point out, my man here went in at halftime and changed the outfit. He channels his inner Elton John. I think by third quarter he's going to have the whole chicken outfit on.
It's just so hot up here, you know what I mean? This doesn't give me any breaks, this polo. But as you were saying, Rick, yeah, it's been sloppy for the Wolverines. Hopefully Coach Tim can get these guys together and get them motivated and get them back together for this second half, because as we know, they've started a year 0-2, and you don't want to go 0-3 and certainly not 0-4 with looking at Upper St. Clair ahead, and it's going to be tough for the rest of the season. It doesn't get any easier, Rick.
Yeah, you definitely want to get a little bit of momentum here going into that big game, that home game against Upper St. Clair. They're always a bit of a juggernaut. They look at good again this year. But again, we're only looking at a 13-point difference here in this Wolverines offense, but we haven't seen it a whole lot in this game. There's been one splash play there with the long pass to Jay Smith. They still have the capability of being a very explosive offense, and they can really turn the score around very quickly if they get everything kind of moving in the right direction and get the wheels moving.
Absolutely, Rick. We're going to step away one more time before the second half kickoff, but it is right around the corner. It is Peters Township 13 and Woodland Hills 0. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
ABOS Opticians on Braddock Avenue in Braddock is your one-stop optical shop. With hundreds of the latest frame styles and lenses, the skilled opticians at ABOS will help select and fit the best eyewear option for you. Plus, ABOS Opticians is the best eyewear repair facility in the area. No matter what your eyewear needs are, make ABOS Opticians your opticians. Call ABOS Opticians at 412-271-4424 or visit abosopticians.com.
Dawn and John at Matthews Auto Service have been serving the Turtle Creek Valley for over 40 years. In addition to being a full-service gas station, Matthews offers oil changes, state inspection and emissions testing, new tires, and light mechanical work. Matthews Auto Service, Monroeville Avenue in Turtle Creek, or call them at 412-824-0940.
Thanks for tuning in to the halftime show on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Woodland Hills Football is...
Wolverines will return the kick to start the third quarter here. Down 13-0. And a big kickoff return would be exactly what the Wolverines need here, Rick.
Kind of read my mind there, Eric. I was thinking we were just talking about splash plays, and this would be an ultimate splash play to start a second half.
Peters Township set to kick off, and it's up and away. For the Wolverines, looks like Will Clark. Take it over the left side, coming up back up the middle. And nice little return there for the Wolverines, getting up to about the 27, and that's where they will start. Not exactly what we were hoping for, but could have been worse.
No, I mean, that was an excellent kick. Really got a little deeper, I think, than Woodland Hills was anticipating. It got down basically down to the goal line. So that gives us about a 27-yard return. That's not a bad return there to start off the second half.
Wolverines start here, 1st and 10 from their own 27. Rodney Stubbs still in at quarterback, under center now. Give to Anthony Meredith, up the middle. Nothing really doing there. He's going to get a yard and a half, maybe. There's an Indian down on the field. That looks like Logan Clark, I believe.
Looks like 55 Logan Clark there.
He is the star lineman for the Indians, but Right now he is down. Not quick to get up, but he's going to take a breather there. Not sure if it was a cramp or if he was grabbing his knee or not, but nonetheless, we'll take a look at the replay here as the give to Anthony Meredith straight up the middle. Not much doing, and you can see Clark there in some pain on the ground.
That, to me, looks like a kid that got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, he's back up and he's rolling.
He's back up, but I'm telling you, that's one of the worst feelings that there are. When you get that, when you take a good hard shot to the stomach, somebody kicks you, you get a good pounce there and it knocks the air out of you. It's only happening for about 10 seconds. It feels like an hour and a half, and it feels like you were dying.
Nothing good about getting the wind knocked out of you, but Logan Clark is back and ready, although he's going to have to sit out of play. Give to Meredith from Stubbs. Nice run this time. It was a first really nice run for the Wolverines of the night, I would say, as it's a first down over the left side for Anthony Meredith, and that'll put the Wolverines on the move.
Yeah, backside, I couldn't tell if that's a guard or a tackle there. Keyshawn Frazier and Jones kind of came out on that left side, made a really nice block, sealing that edge. Right as he got there, I don't know if you saw that big pile up there. It's kind of turned into a cluster, really got him that first down.
Nice big run for the Wolverines. Sets them up with a first down and 10 at their own 43. Another give, this time nothing doing to Anthony Meredith. He maybe still was able to get a yard or two there.
I don't know if you're noticing here, but it looks like Woodland Hills, they're going with a much quicker snap when he's coming up to the center. They're snapping it right away, maybe trying to take that pressure off your offensive line, eliminate some of those offsides calls. It's not quite that silent cap, snap we were talking about. That if you don't practice that, that's something really tough to pull off mid-game.
Second down and about 8 for the Wolverines. Stubbs under center. Back to pass, 3-step drop. Tries a little pass over the middle to Josh Rawlings, and that ball's caught.
They're giving them that completion. I didn't have a good eye on it, but that really, if he caught that's one heck of a play there, right in the middle. That looked like they were setting up a screen, and then he threw the ball downfield in front of the screen.
Exactly, Rick. When you see the quarterback dropping back like that, slow steps backwards, looked like he's going to lob one over the top and for a screen pass, but a really nice catch and throw there.
Yeah,
Josh Rawlings
basically just the old tight end pop.
Third and about 2 here for the Wolverines. They're going to try and run with Anthony Meredith, and he's just going to get over, and they're going to give it to him first down. I think it definitely was a first down, legitimately. First, yeah. It looked like it might have been too close to call, but definitely
got it by a solid yard.
Absolutely. So 2 first downs so far on this drive for the Wolverines, and this is what they needed coming out of the half.
Yeah, a little more life here on the white jersey side of the ball here coming out in the second half. They're breaking that hull. If you see them there coming in the line, they look a little more confident. Got a little swagger back in their game.
First and 10 for the Wolverines. Ball to Peters Township 46. Stubbs back to pass over the middle and in some almost not quite double coverage, but there were 2 Indians there, and that ball was rattled around a little bit, but unable to hold on to it. It was Josh Rawlings. Luckily, it was not intercepted.
Yeah, that's a tough, in combat catch there for Josh Rawlings. Would have been a nice pickup. I really couldn't see anybody else open there at the time, so the pocket was kind of collapsing there. Got rid of it. See what we draw up here on second down.
Second and 10 for the Wolverines. Stubbs on the give to Meredith. Straight up the gut. About a yard there. And that'll put the Wolverines in a 3rd and 9 situation here at the 45-yard line of Peters Township.
Yeah, there wasn't much brewing there in the way of yardage and a hole for him to get through, but looked like he lost his footing a little bit there, right about a yard short of getting to the line of scrimmage. It may have cost him from getting that contact, making the spin, and picking up a couple more yards, leaving us with a 3rd and long and a very important series here for the Wolverines.
3rd down. Stubbs under center. 3-step drop. He looks down the sideline. That's going to be too far, and it was good coverage anyway by Peters Township. I believe that was Adrian Williams on the coverage on Jaden Lucas. And that sideline pass hasn't had much success tonight, Rick.
No, that was just excellent coverage there. He tried to put a double move, and the young man from Peters Township wasn't buying on that first move. Stayed step and step with him there. I like the play call, though. I like the aggressive play.
4th down and 9 for the Wolverines at the Peters Township 45. Jockey handles the low snap, gets the kick off. It's going to be taken by Peters Township and Aiden McCall inside his own 5. He makes a nice return there for Peters Township, able to get it up to about the 22-yard line. Made something out of nothing there. Shed a few tackles, and that's where Peters Township will start their first drive of the second half with 8:54 remaining.
I'll tell you, if Aiden doesn't get this past the 20, I think his coaches are having some words with him on the sidelines there, because I was actually surprised he fielded that punt. The way it was coming down looked like it was going to hit about the 1-yard line and bounce right into the end zone. But I guess he saw something, looking down the field that we didn't. Saw a little bit of a gap, thought he could get past the 20. Made a nice play to pick it up.
Peters Township comes out. Logan Pfeiffer at quarterback in the shotgun. Inside handoff straight up the middle. Not much doing there for Peters Township. Will get it up to about the 25. A gain of about 3.
Nice to see there the gang tackling for Woodland Hills. When you get that pile drive in one way or the other. That first half, you saw a lot of that battle being won by the red jerseys. That play there, the Wolverines kind of stepped up, got their energy up a little bit after the nice rest at halftime. Kept them from picking up the yardage.
2nd and 7 for Peters Township. Shotgun formation, 4 receivers. Fakes on the give over the middle. That's going to be picked off by Woodland Hills. Very nice interception for the Wolverines. Still having a hard time seeing the number, as it looks like Taylon Brooks there, I believe, if it's 39.
Yeah,
on the coverage. Taylon Brooks, a nice interception, and we talked about him earlier, Rick. A sophomore, one of several for the Wolverines that has had to step in and play so far this year.
Yeah, it's one of the upshots of having a team with not Woodland Hills-like numbers on the sidelines. This is a fairly smaller team as far as how many kids are playing. So that gives some of these young pups a really good opportunity to shine on a big stage.
Big play for the Wolverines defensively by Taylon Brooks on the interception. Gives them great starting field position inside Peters Township territory at the 32. 1st and 10. Stubbs under center. The give to Will Clark, unable to get anything and unable to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's a loss of about 2 there.
Had the play developing on the front side. Unfortunately, the back side of the Woodland Hills offense could not contain 55 there. Logan Clark kind of just shot right through that gap on a pinch. Came down, as he's taught, when your guy in front of you pulls, you follow him, and you come down and collapse that line. Does a nice job getting back there and disrupting the play.
2nd and 12 for the Wolverines. Play clock at 15, 14, 13, rolling. 7:27 on the clock, remaining in the 3rd quarter. Stubbs under center.
Double coverage.
Drops back. And that one's going to be intercepted by Peters Township. Now we're going back the other way. Aiden McCall with the pick. And that will set them up deep in their own territory, but they have the ball back, so I'm sure they're happy about that, Rick.
Yeah, the Woodland Hills, they need to really look at that set when they come out there. He had 2 guys covering him there in his zone defense. Had the corner pressing him a little bit, stayed with him step by step, and if he did get by him, he's got a safety there covering over the top. There was just really no chance for that play to go anywhere for the Woodland Hills offense. You got to be able to check out of that and go to the backside. Or you got to motion over and get somebody to keep that safety busy.
Peters Township will start now. Ball back in their hands. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Give straight up the middle. Nice chunk of yardage there for Peters Township. About 5. Adrian Williams up the middle there for Peters Township.
Yeah, it does a nice job here hitting the hole really quickly. Kind of the opposite of a Le'Veon Bell run. No dancing, get to that hole, get through that first wave, and then make contact with the linebackers and get some positive yardage after contact.
2nd and 5 for Peters Township after the Aiden McCall interception. Give, room to run, and he's going to get the 1st down for Peters Township. I believe that was Adrian Williams again for the Indians.
couldn't tell, but it looked like Peters Township pulled the entire offensive line there to go out right and block in front of him.
It worked.
It's like the old wagon train right, you know?
Absolutely.
And that's a pretty sizable set of cows up there for Peters Township. I mean, that right tackle from here looks like somebody I wouldn't want to mess with.
1st and 10 for Peters Township. Double back set give along the right side for Peters Township. Corbin Hundrew on the run. Very nice chunk of yardage gain for Peters Township, about 9 yards there. It'll set them up in a 2nd and short.
Nice open field tackle there by Christopher Jones. You know, it's not a great play for the Wolverines giving up that chunk of yards, but if he doesn't come up and make that play and get a good helmet on him, get that wrap, that could have turned into a real tragedy.
Wolverine down Tywon Milton, but he's back up quick. He's only down for about 5 seconds, although he's close to the sideline, so it looks like they just want to get him off the field right now as he's being helped off, a little limp. Not what you want to see for the Wolverines, as they are already suffering from several injuries, especially on the defense. Some key players out like Sidney Summers and DeJuan Howes and Michael Coleman, the Toledo recruit. After the injury timeout, we'll come back on the field here. Indians jogging back out.
50-50, the winning number was 935-8685.
So 2nd and about 2 where they mark the ball. It's a short 2 though.
At the visitors' concession stand.
Pfeiffer in the shotgun, and he gets the Wolverines to jump. Looked like Anthony Collins may be there, the defensive end on the right side for the Wolverines. Could not hold back and gives a free 1st down to Peters Township. Now a fresh set of downs for the Indians, 1st and 10 at their own 35. Moving the ball well here as they started this drive deeper in their own territory. Pfeiffer looking deep. He's got his man, and it's incomplete. From our vantage point, it looked like he may have caught that ball at first, but he wasn't able to haul it in. He had his man. It was pretty decent coverage by the Wolverines.
Excellent coverage there. He knew he didn't have the time to turn around and look. He just stayed with his man. Wasn't guilty of the face guarding type thing. Didn't throw his hands up, but just stayed there enough to get in his way. I think he may have got a hand on the ball as they came down.
2nd and 10 now for Peters Township after the incompletion.
There he is again.
And Woodland Hills blows that up in the backfield, and that's
my man, Mike Roman, once again.
That is what we're used to from the Woodland Hills defense there. They gave him some forward progress there, so it only put him at a loss of about 5 as he was driven back even further. Unfortunately, we know that doesn't count. But a 5-yard loss, Woodland Hills will take it, and this will put them in a 3rd and 15 situation, and a long 15.
Really nice individual effort there by number 1, Mike Roman. Once again, he came up on that stunt. You see him dancing around there a lot, keeping that offensive line a little nervous. Found the right spot, jumped in there, came in almost untouched, makes a nice tackle.
4:30 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 13-0 Peters Township. They have the ball, 3rd and long. Back to pass is Pfeiffer. Flushed out of the pocket. Looking for Aiden McCall on the sideline. That's going to be overthrown and incomplete. And again, good coverage by the Wolverines, Rick. I believe that was Tavion Brooks there on the right side.
Yeah, Tavion's doing a nice job. Really, the Woodland Hills secondary here, with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions where they've kind of gotten beat deep, have done a nice job kind of coming together here, communicating, make sure that nobody's getting behind them. Nice job here getting the quarterback flushed out. You know, the percentage of completion drops drastically when you make that quarterback roll out. Nice coverage. A little incidental contact there at the end to trip them up.
4th and long now. Peters Township in punt formation. Good snap. They get the punt off. It's high, and it's a pretty decent punt. That'll bounce around the 38 and go out of bounds, and we'll see where it is spotted for the Wolverines to start their drive. Right at the 40-yard line. So Woodland Hills will start there with a fresh set of downs. Looking to go 60 yards and get in the end zone, Rick, and really get some momentum going. Still with a 0 on the board of the Wolverines.
Yeah, we can't, the time's running out here. We got to get something moving here quickly. get that momentum going, and really get some points.
Taking a look at the Allegheny 8 standings, the Woodland Hills Conference, Upper St. Clair 2-0 overall, 1-0 in conference, along with West Allegheny and Bethel Park at 1-0 in the conference. They're both 1-0 overall. Baldwin 2-0 overall, but hasn't played any conference games. Rodney Stubbs, a quarterback, sends Jaden Lucas in motion. Give to Anthony Meredith, and nothing doing up the middle. They are just reading that so well, Rick. They know what's coming.
Yeah, everybody kind of, that's one of those plays Woodland Hills has run for a long time with several different variations. That's basically the 47 reverse, where you're faking handoff up the middle, looking at the backside, and you give it to the man coming around in motion. And, this team is obviously pretty well coached. Everybody stayed on their assignments, stayed in their gaps. And when you do that, there's nowhere to go.
Second and a long 9. They maybe gave him a half yard there. Stubbs rolls out, and some miscommunication there as Josh Rawlings came back, but Stubbs threw it longer and nobody was home, and luckily it wasn't intercepted, but nonetheless it will create a 3rd and long for the Wolverines yet again.
Yeah, the receiver there, Rawlings, really looked kind of confused by where that ball went. I'm not sure if that was a miscommunication, or as he rolled out, he saw there's nothing there. I'm throwing it deep where nobody can get it. If anything, maybe, nobody's going to get to that. I don't know if maybe he thought Rawlings was going for 15 when he went for 10. Those things happen.
3rd and long for the Wolverines. In the shotgun is Rodney Stubbs. Anthony Meredith, the tailback to his right. Trips to his right as well. They're going to go with the give to Jay Smith on a little end around out of the shotgun, and Jay Smith's going to reverse his field and just get tripped up. And if he had not got tripped up, I would have thought he would have got a 1st down there, Rick. But
he may have gotten a lot more than that, Eric. That was a nifty little cutback on a play that that defense really read beautifully. 56 stays at home, forces him back about 3 yards, as an impact, gives his defense time to come up. Great cut, great vision there. Gets out to the right, and absolutely, look at all that field out there. Shoestring tackle, or else he has that corner, and I think he's going pretty deep.
Wolverines stuck in about a 4th and 5 here, and there's going to be a flag on the play. Most likely against the Wolverines. It sure is.
I'm not sure what our stat is so far, or what it's going to end up being with the penalty yardage on the white jerseys, but I'm getting the feeling it's going to be something fairly astronomical by the end of this game.
I think you're right about that, unfortunately, Rick. That'll back up the Wolverines 5 yards. Make it a 4th and 10. Chucky Hanchett back to punt. And there's movement, and that'll be a false start by the Wolverines. Another pre-stat penalty.
Another penalty marker on the ground.
Make it a 4th and 15 now. So there's a false start. Prior penalty. Looked like it was a too many men call on the Wolverines, as we saw one Wolverine jog off the field. And that snap bounced up to Hanchett, but he was able to control it and get a punt off. This one bouncing, and it will settle at about the Peters Township 38-yard line. So that is where, well, they're going to put it at, oh, wow. Okay, yeah. That initial spot was right around the 40, and he's going to step back to about 39, which is more accurate.
Yeah, not the best punt there, but I'll tell you, he's doing a good job back there just fielding some of these snaps. Special teams, I think, got a lot of work to do this week, shoring up those snaps. We saw it in week 1, or week 0, really. I unfortunately was not available for the game last week, but we're seeing it here tonight. Snap after snap is bouncing to him. You got to get that shored up.
Peters Township will start this drive 1st and 10 from room 39. Trips to the right, unable to handle the snap, but jumped on by Peters Township, and a very, very good play for Peters Township there to hold the ball and not give it back over. Ryan Majewski, the running back for the Indians, able to jump on it and save a turnover.
This, depending on how this game turns out, Eric, that's a play that I think Coach Tim Boster is going to watch the replay on 1,000, if he's anything like Coach Novak was, 1,000 times over and over again, and realize if that ball bounces right instead of left, this could be a completely different game.
2nd and 12. This time a clean snap and a nice run for the Indians, and that was Ryan Majewski taking that ball right up to about midfield. They're going to put him at about the 49-yard line. Oh, no. They're short of that. That's 44, excuse me.
Well, a really nice surge there by the O-line. That backside guard, I can't pull up his number, but made a nice, pulled around, made a nice little sliver of a hole, and that back just found it and was able to pick up some pretty positive yardage.
Creates a third and manageable situation for the Indians after the run by Majewski to the 44. Another give, this time nowhere to go. Oh, he breaks free though, and he's able to get a first down for Peters Township. Seth Luxick was hit initially by the Wolverines, but yet again they cannot wrap up and tackle, and it creates a first down for Peters Township.
Yeah, he gets grabbed here in the back, I think in the backfield. Right here, hit there, doesn't wrap, keeps his feet. Oh, it's off camera, but Mike Roman comes up and lays a lick right there.
Under a minute left in the third quarter, 45 seconds and rolling here as Peters Township is on the move, and the Woodland Hills defense has to step up and get a stop or a turnover, or else this one could become out of reach. In the shotgun, 1st and 10 at the 49. Give to Seth Luxick right up the middle. Tons of running room, breaking tackles over the right side, 30, 20, 15, out of bounds, inside the 15-yard line for Peters Township. And this Woodland Hills team, Rick, just looks defeated, deflated, and discouraged.
I think more than any of that, Eric, they look tired. They look tired to me, and I think that kind of goes hand in hand with, feeling a little bit down and discouraged. But, I mean, most of these kids are going both ways, giving everything they got. They're just getting worn down by the constant barrage. Are getting blasted off the line here by these red jerseys, and eventually they're going to break.
First down, Peters Township, around the 15-yard line. Logan Piper in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. Give up the middle. Adrian Williams. Nice gain for Peters Township. Takes it up to about the 6-yard line. And that'll be the final play of the third quarter, I believe, as the clock is rolling. And that'll do it for the third quarter. Peters Township is knocking on the door again, up already 13-0, and Woodland Hills needs a stop or else this one could get out of reach. It's Peters Township 13, Woodland Hills nothing, and you're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here at Peters Township, 13-0 Peters Township as they are knocking on the door here, looking to head into the end zone, but the Wolverines hoping to make other plans and stop this drive, get a turnover, or just get a stop and try and get the ball back before it's too late, Rick.
Yeah, I'm just kind of checking out the sideline here in front of us, Eric. There's still a little bit of pep, a little bit of life here. You see the coaches jumping up. They're still in it. This game is still not out of hand here. We need a big stop here, maybe a strip. Got to get something going to get that momentum back for the Blue Helmets.
Second and a short 3. Piper, the give to Adrian Williams. Gets a couple there. Spot's going to be close to a first down. See where they mark it. And looks like a first down. It'll be 1st and goal now for Peters Township.
I had a number 25 here on the tackle, but again, they're 300 yards away. Nice job. Comes up, gets low, wraps and rolls.
1st and goal, Piper on the give to Williams, and he goes right off tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Peters Township. That puts them up 19-0 with an extra point pending.
Yeah, that's the nail's not all the way in the coffin, but the hammer is above it, and it's touching wood.
Big run by Adrian Williams there, and
pretty much untouched.
That's right, Rick. And Woodland Hills has to do something quick here. Get back in this game with only 11:37 remaining. Kick is up for Peters Township, and good. That puts Peters Township up 20-0 here on Woodland Hills with 11:37 remaining. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here at Peters Township, touchdown run by Adrian Williams. Puts them up 20-0 here in the fourth quarter. 11:37 remaining. Woodland Hills will return this kick. And hopefully we'll get that big kickoff return that we were hoping for to start halftime, Rick.
Yeah, that would be, right now would be a very nice time for that.
Kick by Peters Township. Anthony Meredith takes it along the right side, gets hit, breaks a tackle, and still breaking tackles along the sideline. Was able to get a little extra yardage there up to the 45-yard line. So a very nice return for the Wolverines, what they needed. Now hopefully they can sustain a nice drive and get this ball in the end zone quick.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a spark there. Good field position here. You know, we've seen bits and spurts of this offense starting to click a little bit, starting to grab some yardage, especially when Meredith was running the ball effectively. They've had some success getting downfield with Jay Smith. Let's see what Tim Boster draws up here.
Rodney Stubbs in the shotgun. He's got twins left. And the give to Clark along the left side. He takes it. Nice run by Will Clark there, able to get about 7 or 8 yards for the Wolverines.
And once again, you know, part of that play is the quarterback fakes out right. And if we see replay here, he is basically unchecked there on the right side. Hopefully these guys in the booth are watching that. I fully suspect we're going to see that play happen here later in the game with the mobility of that quarterback, seeing him running out to the right side.
Second and about 3 here for the Wolverines. And you would love to see a no-huddle offense implemented because they're just wasting a lot of time here, Rick. They don't have all day. Give inside to Anthony Meredith. Gets the first down. So the clock will stop momentarily as the chains are reset by after the first down run by Anthony Meredith.
Yeah, I mean, if we're even looking at right now, we're subbing kids in and out. I'm not sure why we're not showing the plays in with those subs. It doesn't seem like a lot. It's maybe a matter of 2 or 3 seconds that's going to save you, but over the course of 50, 60 plays during the game, that adds up really quickly.
It sure does, Rick, and you need every second you can get when you're down by 20 in the fourth quarter. Rodney Stubbs in the shotgun. And another 3-snap penalty. Play clock ran out, went to 0, and as we're talking about,
I don't think we could script that any better.
Exactly, we pretty much jinxed it. Talking about maybe working on a no-huddle offense in practice to be ready for these situations, or having a different player who's subbing into the game, running the play, and not having the quarterback come all the way over to the sideline and go back to the huddle. Cost them 5 yards. Backed up here are the Wolverines on a 1st and 15. Peters Township 49-yard line. Snap to Stubbs, gives it to Will Clark. Gets a couple there on the run. Surprised to see the Wolverines sticking with the running game so much here when, you know, I would think you want to air it out here down by 20 points, you know, get that ball in the air, go over the middle of the field, utilize your height, Josh Rawlings, and your athleticism in Davion Rochelle. But they are opting to stay on the ground.
I think they're trying to catch Peters here on a blitz. If you catch him on a blitz on a play like that, you can break that for some significant yardage and get out to the sideline.
Second down. Rodney Stubbs in the shotgun. Looking over the middle. There he finds Davion Rochelle, and a nice catch. Wasn't able to catch him in stride, but still able to pull in. The catch was Davion Rochelle, and a nice gain. We'll put the Wolverines in the third and about 4 here.
About 42 or 38 rather. Yeah, he's wide open there on that nice soft little curl to the inside. Quarterback sees it right away. Honestly, kind of telegraphs that.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised to see that safety not step up and get a little pressure.
Give to Anthony Meredith. He slips through the Peters Township defense, able to stay on his feet there for a while. And a nice run, as Rick said before, maybe caught them on a blitz there, was able to slip through, and a big gainer for Anthony Meredith.
Yeah, when you got running backs like this, yeah, you see their linebackers coming up. They actually look like a safety coming up on a blitz. That opens up a nice chunk of hole once you get past that first wave. That's your first wave and second wave all at once, and it just opens up a tremendous amount of field for an athlete like Meredith.
Touchdown saving tackle by Ryan Majewski there. Give to Anthony Meredith. This time nothing doing. They sniff that out too well. And it will be a second down and about 11 for the Wolverines.
That well in particular may be dried up. We've seen this play a number of times here, and it's just not quite hitting. That backside's just getting across too fast. They're not holding the blocks. So this is a well-coached team in the red jerseys from what I'm seeing. They're doing everything that I remember hearing other kids effectively being coached.
Very fundamentally sound, Rick.
I wasn't necessarily being coached well.
Stubbs, there's a little trouble there on that play. Don't know. I think Will Clark had no intention of taking that ball. And Stubbs was hit hard in the backfield, driven back, and he is going to be attended to at around the 25-yard line. And the Wolverines will have a third and very long as they will attempt to get on the board here with 7:49 remaining in the game.
Looks like a cramp situation there, so
that's a good thing.
It's not a good thing, but it's a better result than seeing the gurney come out.
Exactly. Certainly not a good thing, but better than an alternative. We'll take a quick break and step away. When we come back, the Wolverines looking to convert on a third and long, down 20-0 in the fourth quarter. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Serving the Turtle Creek Valley and neighboring Woodland Hills communities for over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home now offers crematory services at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, and that their crematory is used exclusively for the families they serve.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here at Peters Township, Rodney Stubbs still being attended to at the 25-yard line. Take a look at the replay here and see exactly what went down. Was unable to handle the snap cleanly, and then that's what put him in trouble as he backtracked, was hit hard by the Indians. Jackson McCloskey.
It looked to me like as he came down, McCloskey's knee kind of came down right at the small part of his right calf muscle. And if you're borderline cramping, that'll send you right into Crampville in a second.
So Rodney Stubbs able to walk off the field under his own power, which is a good sign. And the Wolverines will head back onto the field, this time now with quarterback Gavin Judson, who started the game for the Wolverines. He's got receivers Rochelle, Rawlings, and Lucas. Three very talented individuals looking to make a huge play here for the Wolverines. Also Jay Smith out there, late addition in the slot. Judson rolls out left.
Got him.
They were in on him very quickly. He had no time to pass that ball. And it will create a fourth down as that ball dropped incomplete. 7:35 remaining in the game, and this could be the last chance for the Wolverines, Rick.
That's a shame because he had Jay Smith here pretty open. If he doesn't have to take that step back, he gets that to him, and you see how much space there. He's got Rawlings up ahead of him to block.
Absolutely, Rick.
That could have been a big play.
Definitely a shame he was unable to find Smith there. Smith has some sure hands, as we know that he is the punt returner for the Wolverines as well. Here we go. Ball at the 20-yard line for the Wolverines. About a 4th down and 18 about. Looks for Lucas in the end zone, but it is intercepted by Peters Township on the pass from Gavin Judson. That ball picked off by Aiden McCall in the corner of the end zone, and Peters Township will take over after the interception, and that pretty much sums up the night right there for the Wolverines, Rick.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he saw here, but I mean, there's nothing brewing there. Nothing brewing, and it looks like somebody else ran a bad route, running his man into that go route. You know, we got to make some better decisions here. You can tell when a quarterback drops back and you don't see his head move, he goes to that first receiver. He's not going through his progressions. He's not looking for that open man. If there's nobody open, you get rid of it or you try to run for a positive gain.
7:30 remaining in the game now. Peters Township takes over after the interception. Ball is put at the 20-yard line on the touchback. Pfeiffer in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. Give up the middle. Good running room there for Adrian Williams. He's able to get a nice chunk of yards for the Indians. This certainly goes against what history says, Rick, as dating back to 2003, Woodland Hills has played Peters Township 4 times. They have won all 4 times, and they have outscored the Indians 144-24 in those 4 games. And this certainly isn't what the Wolverines are used to.
No, this certainly breaks a little bit of precedent here. I don't put that all on the turquoise and black. This Peters Township team is a different team than Woodland Hills is used to seeing out here. This is a pretty quality program. And again, they're well-disciplined, well-coached. They got some hogs up front that are in there really kind of putting our defense through the grinder right now, and we're seeing the effects of it.
That pass was incomplete on the attempt from Pfeiffer to Casilli, trying to pass deep over the middle. Looks like they want to put a dent in that total score history against the Wolverines, trying to get some more points on the board here with 6:53 remaining. 3rd down and about 5 for the Indians. Give up the middle. Williams breaks through the lines, up over midfield, and he gets tackled out of bounds for a big gain there by Adrian Williams. And that will set up another 1st down and a fresh set of downs for the Indians.
Yeah, you see there, the Woodland Hills D-line did not get really blown off the ball there. What it looks like Peters is doing is they're letting them kind of penetrate, and they're just steering them whichever way they're wanting to go. And it doesn't take a whole lot of energy. You're letting the defense kind of run themselves out. It's almost kind of like a rope-a-dope type blocking scheme. And that running back's got good enough vision that he's seeing where they're steering. It's almost like electric football. You know what I mean? He's seeing the hole and hitting it, you know, depending on where they're turning.
1st and 10 for the Indians. Run up the middle there for about 3.
Yeah, even when it looks like we got them, they're picking up 3 yards at this point.
It looked like that guard for the Indians may have moved a little bit early, but no call, so
I don't anticipate a lot of flags coming out at this point unless
right.
it's
That's right, Rick. Not
very,
like that
very
really helped
necessary.
the Wolverines right now anyway. 2nd down and about 7 for the Indians. Snap.
That's holding.
Give to Adrian Williams again. Flag comes in after a gain of a few by Williams.
Well, I tell you, Mike Roman again comes up through the middle and is fighting to get to that right side of the defense. And it looked like he had 2 guys with bear hugs on him as he fought through. Let's see what this call is.
Looks like a hold on the Indians.
There were 2 holds because they missed the blatant one.
Wolverines will take that. That'll back up Peters Township to the 46-yard line of Woodland Hills.
That's definitely holding.
Oh yeah. Now I see what you're talking about. Looked like Caleb Brevard got tackled further back in the play there as well.
He was getting the James Harrison treatment.
Peters Township now with the ball. 2nd down at their own 46-yard line. Pfeiffer in the shotgun, gets the snap. Another give up the middle, and a nice tackle made by the Wolverines. I believe that was Tavian Brooks there, number 8 for Woodland Hills.
Williams, the ball carrier.
Saving a big run. Could have been a big run by Adrian Williams.
Well, it was a fairly big run. You know, I mean, he kind of broke through there and picked up some yards, but that, yeah, nice open field tackle there to stop it from getting even uglier.
3rd and 8 now for Peters Township. We have just about 5 minutes left in this ball game.
And the red jerseys are in no hurry to get this ball snapped.
Pfeiffer running that clock all the way down, the play clock. Give straight up the middle. Broken tackles left and right for Peters Township, Seth Luxick. And mows down a couple Wolverines there and gets up to the 34-yard line of Woodland Hills.
Boy, he kind of ends up getting helicoptered at the end of this play here. Somebody comes up, and a couple guys put a nice lick on him. He gets launched and spun all at once. But excellent run here. Nice job by the offensive line. Missed tackle there, and then launched in the air. Well, I mean, these kids are for Peters are still going 100 miles an hour here with a 20-0 lead with 4.5 minutes left.
1st and 10 for Peters Township. Now with just under 4.5 minutes left in the game. Looks like we're going to have a stoppage in play by the officials. Josh Rawlings coming into the game. Thomas Sheard coming off the field along with Chris Jones. Looked like that may have been a penalty. I'm not sure what quite happened there. Hard to tell when the ref is all the way on the other side of the field making the call and the signal and we can't hear anything. But it must have been because they're backed up 5 yards and it's the 1st and 15. Peters Township. Pfeiffer unable to handle the snap, but it looks like Peters Township was able to jump on that, and they were. Again, just the story of the night. Not getting any breaks and not creating anything, and that ball bouncing around, and Pfeiffer, the quarterback, is able to jump on that.
Yeah, Anthony Collins gets back there nicely. The ball bounces right by him. He just doesn't see it. He's focused on the man. I mean, it's understandable. It happens, but again, it's one of those ball bounces one way or the other, you know, and things change. Woodland Hills they're not giving themselves any breaks, but they certainly aren't getting any.
Exactly, Rick. 2nd and long now for Peters Township, inside Woodland Hills territory. A high snap handled by Pfeiffer. Run by Ryan Majewski. Tough run. Gets almost back to the original line of scrimmage. A yard shy of that. It'll be at the Woodland Hills 35 now, and it'll be a 3rd and 11.
Well, these running backs for Penn Trafford are impressive. They're almost interchangeable. They're all built about the same. They run basically the same. You know, they keep everything going north-south, feet moving, spinning off the tackles.
Yeah, these Peters Township Indians running backs. They have 3 of them in terms of Luxick and Williams and Majewski. They throw them all at you.
Yeah, and each one of them can grind you up pretty quickly if you give them a crack.
Got a similar approach as the Philadelphia Eagles do, as we saw last night on Thursday Night Football. Another run attempt over the right side, not much doing there. Get about a yard, and it will create a 4th and 10 now for the Indians with 2.5 minutes about left in this ball game.
Yeah, we're kind of getting to that time of the game here where now you just want to get off the field here without any injuries. You know, hold your ground, don't get beat, don't get hurt.
Absolutely, Rick. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. It's even more important games coming up down the road for the Wolverines.
All right, they're swapping out for the pups. Or is that the punt team? That's the punt team coming on.
4th and 10. Punt away by Peters Township. It's a high one. Takes a Woodland Hills bounce. Down by Peters Township. And with 2 minutes and 1 second, that's where Woodland Hills will start this drive. We'll see if we see some backups here. Like you said, you don't want to risk any injury, certainly with only 2 minutes remaining.
Well, I see number 9 jogging out there to the huddle to take the snap.
Looks like they're going to stick with the first teamers.
Well, maybe the thought is, you know, we need some work. and we need to, this can be a conditioning exercise as well. There's some positive things to gain here out of a game that's already out of hand, seeing how your kids react, seeing if they maintain their composure, seeing if they can pull together a couple plays here.
So Woodland Hills will start 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line. Gavin Judson in the shotgun, back to pass. He's had more time there than he or Stubbs has had all game. Jump ball, unable to come down with it was Davion Rochelle. Good coverage by Ryan Majewski amongst a couple other Indians there around midfield.
Again, that looks to me like his, the play call, it's his first read. He goes right to him. Fortunately, if he looks underneath, Josh Rawlings is wide open about 10, 15 yards down the middle of the field.
And Davion Rochelle is down right now, and he is a key skill player and wide receiver for the Wolverines, and it's not what you want to see heading into next week against Upper St. Clair Panthers. Again, Davion Rochelle wearing 13 tonight, normally wears 29. And he is a guy you don't want to lose going into a key matchup next week against Upper St. Clair and Jim Render, who just recently got his 400th win and playing Baldwin tonight. I don't want to spect anything, but I would think they got 401 after.
I think that would be a safe bet.
Yes. So Woodland Hills again. They will fall to 0-3 after tonight, and that will be the first time since 2007 that a Woodland Hills football team has been 0-3, and that year they actually went 0-4. So we hope that it doesn't get to that, but after tonight they are going to fall to 0-3 and 0-2 in conference, and Rochelle is back up on his feet. Take a look at the Big East standings. Keysport, Gateway, and Franklin Regional have a three-way tie early in this season. Latrobe and Albert Gallatin next up, 0-2 overall. And then Plum, Connellsville, Penn Trafford, although all those teams are really at the bottom as none of them have any conference wins.
I haven't got an update since halftime, but I know the Gateway Gators were up 35-0 at the half against Plum. So it looks like they're going to keep their winning streak going.
Judson in the shotgun gets a snap. Rolling out to his right, looking over the middle. Finds his man, and I believe he was able to hold on to that. Yes, he was. That was Jay Smith. Nice grab on the toss from Judson. Gets a few. Minute 36 remaining in this game.
Yeah, Jay Smith is quietly putting together a decent little game here. He had the one big splash play early in the first half. Made a couple nice catches here and some nice blocks downfield that I've been watching in the second half.
Judson in the shotgun on a 3rd and short. Give to Meredith. A little bit delayed there, but Anthony Meredith able to power his way up to the 25, and looks like they'll give him the first down there. About a minute left in this game here. Might see one or two more plays for the Wolverines. Judson back to the huddle. First and 10 for the Wolverines. Clock at 45 seconds. Play clock 3, 2, 1, and that'll be a delay game, I would suspect, unless Coach Tim calls a timeout. Looks like he's going to call a timeout. Oh, nope. I think he'll take the delay game. Yes, he will. Looked like he was talking to the ref there, Rick, and that he was going to maybe call a timeout if he had one left. Not that it matters.
I think Timmy may have been thrown in the yellow flag, the white flag there.
Yes,
let's not prolong this any more than we need to. And
that's right.
Let's get these kids on the bus and back to Woodland Hills.
That's right. So we look at a 1st and about 15 now for Woodland Hills. Gavin Judson in the shotgun formation. Takes the snap, nothing doing. Tries to go up the middle, backs up, rolls out, looking over the middle, finds Anthony Meredith, and Meredith gets the ball and picks it up over the 30-yard line. That was a bizarre play there, Rick.
Yeah, that's like some schoolyard type stuff there. Drawing it up in the dirt. You go down by the Ford Bronco and make a right, curl.
And that should just about do it here, Rick, from Peters Township. Jeremy Thomas was down there, the lineman for the Wolverines. Luckily, he got back up. You don't want to see another lineman get injured. No,
we're down a lot of linemen here with Woodland Hills between eligibility and some injuries. And that's something maybe positive to kind of glean from these last two games. The offensive line did a decent job tonight. Last week, I think they had over 200 yards rushing. And they did that with kind of a hodgepodge put together offensive line. So if they get those kids back, we should see some better things.
So that will do it from Peters Township. 20-0. The Wolverines fall here tonight, fall to 0-3 overall and 0-2 in conference. Tough game tonight for the Wolverines. Some sloppy play. The heat definitely took a toll, having injuries affecting the team, making guys go both ways. It's always tough. We'll step away, and when we come back, we'll have a post-game show from Peters Township. Again, 20-0 your final. The Indians are victorious over the Wolverines. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, with locations in East Pittsburgh and Turtle Creek, is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. This reflects the same pursuit of excellence by our Woodland Hills football team, cheerleaders, marching band, students, staff, and faculty. For over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here from Peters Township, the Wolverines again fell 20-0 to the Indians. And as we look at the game, we try and pull some positives from it. As we do with every game, we have our superlatives, so we'll go down those. The defensive stand of the game, in our opinion, had to be the sack by Caleb Brevard, which pushed the Indians back all the way to about their 1-yard line and forced them to punt.
Yeah, it was a big third down there, kind of what could have been a critical point in the game if Woodland Hills had been able to capitalize on that. It was a big sack, came up through the middle, blew everything up, got the quarterback running the 1-foot line, forced him into a tough punting situation.
Next, we look at the play of the game, which we said was the interception by Taylon Brooks, the talented sophomore for the Wolverines. Gave an opportunity to the Wolverines to go in and score. They were unable to capitalize, but at the time, it was a very big play. That
was a big turnaround. It sparked a little bit of life on the Woodland Hills sideline. Unfortunately, I believe maybe 2 or 3 plays later, we gave it right back to them on an interception. Doesn't take away from the athletic play and the nice job he did on the interception.
And last, we look at the player of the game, which this game we go to the defensive side of the ball, and we go with number 1, Michael Roman, the senior. He was all over the field. Again, he had to be with injuries and guys out. He plays crazy out there, but he plays well, and he tackles, and he's all over the field.
Yeah, I've been watching him now for the last couple of years, and he's my kind of Wolverine football player. He's kind of the old school mentality. I think they have him listed here at 180 pounds. I'm not going to say it on air because the college coaches maybe look, but I don't think he weighs 180. He's a wiry little kid, and he is just he's as tenacious and as fierce as they come. And I can't tell you how many tackles he had tonight, but it was a lot. he put together a nice, solid game. He was going to have some good game film to kick forward.
Definitely, Michael Roman had a good game. The Wolverines obviously struggled, but we hope they can turn that around next week, and we hope Coach Tim can motivate them and get them back for next week against Upper St. Clair. Again, the Woodland Hills Wolverines fall tonight 20-0 to the Peters Township Indians. Thank you again for joining us on the Woodland Hills Football Network. You've been tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Today's broadcast of Wolverine football was presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Wolverine football is also brought to you by the Triangle Barn Grille, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, the law offices of Owen Seaman, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers Inn in Swissvale, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, A-Boss Opticians, Matthews Auto Service, and DeZubin Dental Associates. This broadcast has been a presentation of A.W. Gusky Productions and LG3 Entertainment. Copyright 2018.